on Truth 96.1 FM. Today is Friday, December 29, 2023. My name is Marka Davis, anchoring. In the headlines, President George Weah expresses sympathy to the families of those who lost their lives in the Total explosion, describes the incident as disturbing and calls on the public to reach out to the affected families. Senator Prince Johnson objects to the nomination of Justice Minister Musadin as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, says the decision is untimely and a ploy to undermine the incoming Boakai administration. Liberia National Police orders the closure of the local beach in Lower Margibi County following the discovery of 3 dead bodies on the beach. And of the home front, Russia reopens its embassy in Burkina Faso after it was shut more than 30 years ago, officials have said. The details of these developments, including the bulletin of news, voices of the newsmakers, are all part of this edition of News Decks. We're taking a short break to be back. So rejoining us up next is the bulletin of news with Johnson Matoma. Good evening, Johnson.
Good evening, Maka. Good evening to all. President George Weah has by proclamation declared this Monday, January 1st, 2024 as New Year Day and is to be observed throughout the Republic as national holiday. The proclamation calls on all citizens and foreign residents within the Republic to observe the day. According to a foreign ministry release, the proclamation further orders and directs all citizens and foreign residents within the borders in solid cooperation with all prelates, priests, deacons, evangelists, imams, and others regardless of religious creed. The proclamation further indicated that under the Patriotic Cultural Observance Law, Chapter 25, Liberian Code of Conduct or Code of Law of 1956, the first day of January each year is set aside as a national holiday to be known as New Year Day and appropriately celebrated. The Foreign Ministry release noted that the day offers many Liberians and residents of Liberia the opportunity to celebrate the infinite goodness and mercy of the Almighty, who has blessed and prospered the work of the minds, heart, and hands of all people of Liberia during the previous year. In another development, President George Weah has expressed his sympathy to the families of those who lost their lives in a major fire incident in the central Liberian town of Totota in County. The president said images of the tragedy are deeply disturbing and calls on the public to reach out to the affected families as the Liberian National Red Cross and other requisite institutions of government aid with recovery and treatment efforts. Liberia Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Kate has said so far about 50 deaths have been recorded since a tanker transporting food made an accident and later exploded. It is reported that some locals in the area attempted to loot the content of the trapped tanker when the explosion happened. Dozens of injured people from the incident have been transported to various hospitals around the country. The president said, or the president has said, health authorities have got his full backing to build off manpower and equipment where necessary in the forensic attempt to save lives and calls on the families of those who lost their lives to take solace in the Lord. At the same time, the Liberia Council of Churches has extended condolences to family members of the individuals who lost their lives in the tragic fuel tank explosion into the Tabon County. LCC, through a release, also expressed sadness and described the unfortunate situation as a national disaster that must claim the attention of Liberians irrespective of the association. According to the council, with such a horrific nightmare, it is important for national stake actors to carry out public awareness to educate and inform Liberians on a number of issues that could affect their well-being if precaution and care is not taken seriously. The economic body believes that thousands of Liberians are not conscious minded of the danger these incidents pose to their lives. The council called on relevant agencies of government responsible to do responsible to do all in their powers to alert citizens on how to avoid incidents like fire, flood, and natural disasters. At the same time, the Council of Churches is commending health authorities for the swift intervention to ensure that those injured from the explosion are taken care of at various health centers across the country. The Liberian Council of Churches is also requesting all churches to offer prayers during the worship services for victims of the Tuesday, December 26, 2023 fuel explosion that led to the death of about 50 persons. The Council of Churches also presented 250 United States dollars as initial contribution to the victims' family. Senator Prince Johnson has criticized the nomination of Justice Minister Musatin as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia. The Nima County Senator said the nomination is untimely and is a cover-up plan to prevent the incoming administration from achieving some of its agenda, including auditing and prosecuting officials of the Weah-led administration for any acts of corruption and other crimes. Senator Johnson said under the watch of Councillor Dean as Attorney General of Liberia, there were many mysterious deaths in the country and there were no outcome of the investigations reportedly conducted. He referenced the deaths of Gifty Lamar, Matthew Innes, Emmanuel Nyeswa, and three missing boys from St. Moses, among others. Addressing a press conference Friday in Painesville, Senator Prince Johnson vowed to reject Councillor Musatin when he appears at the Senate for confirmation and wants his fellow senators to do same. He noted that while President Weah has the constitutional right to appoint and nominate, his latest decision is untimely and he should allow the new administration to make the nomination. Health authorities in Liberia have identified additional 28 victims of the Tuesday Tango explosion in Tabon County. Liberia Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Kate, making a disclosure to RCI News, said these individuals were discovered in the communities during the ongoing contact tracing process. Dr. Kate noted that of the number 15 were immediately taken to the Phoebe Referral Hospital as the arrangement was made to transport the additional 13 to the same hospital. In disclosed additional two deaths, taking toll to more than 15, emphasizing that the death toll might increase in the coming days. Dr. Francis Kere is therefore calling on Liberians philanthropist organization to aid in saving the lives of those in the hospitals. Aggrieved contractors at the Painesville City Corporation are protesting for their 5 month salary. The protesters on Friday morning set roadblock through the main entrance of the Painesville City Corporation, demanding the PCC to settle their 5 month benefits. Speaking to reporters, one of the protesters, Thela Das Luma, said that it has been 5 months since the administration refused to pay the contractors due to the refusal of management of the Painesville City Corporation. According to Lamar, their protest action is peaceful and is intended to draw the attention of national government. Also speaking, John Niperkai expressed silence of being treated like foreigners in their own country where they live or leave their homes early in the morning to work, but they cannot receive salaries for 5 months. They threaten to continue protesting until the management of the Painesville City Corporation can settle their arrears. A conglomeration of civil society organizations led by Good Governance Initiative has called on the Liberian Senate to confirm Councillor Frank Musatin to the Supreme Court bench following his recent nomination by President George Weah. Councillor Dean is Liberia's current Justice Minister, has been nominated as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia to replace Councillor Joseph Nambri, who sought early retirement since the nomination of Councillor Dean. Some Liberians, including political pundits, have been questioning his integrity, while others believed the Liberian leader has made the best decision. Addressing news conference Friday in Monrovia, the executive director of Good Governance Initiative, Jeremiah Bryant, said the confirmation of the nominee will provide a better judicial system of the country. He described Castrodine as an astute and renowned legal mind whose records of accomplishment are visible and irreplaceable in the eyes of the citizenry. Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of Good Governance Initiative has urged all CSOs not to succumb to those who term as made propagandists trying to undermine the credibility of Councillor Musa Dane. Brian further described as unfortunate and uncivilized the behaviors of those in court, the so-called propagandists who are influencing the civil society activists and some media outlets with cash to rent the confirmation of Minister Musadin as Associate Justice. The president of the Lacosta College of Education, Dr. Benjamin Way, has identified four pillars as the institution's strategic direction going forward in 2024. Dr. Way named accessibility, quality, relevance, and 21st century infrastructure as as four major pillars of Lacosta College of Education. Speaking Friday at final reflections review and celebration of Lakota College of Education 2023, Dr. Way said the retreat was intended to present the college's strategic direction, making sure that every member of the institution is on board. He noted that during the meeting, there were recognition of outstanding teachers and administrators at various Lakota sites across the country. Meanwhile, Dr. Way or Benjamin Way, who is UC Best Teacher of the Year 2023, used the occasion to recount on the challenges and difficulties faced by Lacosta College of Education over the years. He boasted that the college is now a BSc degree granting institution that is competing with various universities and colleges in Liberia. The Chief Executive Officer of the Anthony Welle Foundation has announced the groundbreaking for several projects across District 2 Moswara County. He named some of the projects as Youth Center, where the young people will be able to meet and discuss bridge connection, communities that are mostly affected during the rainy season, as well as vocational schools. According to him, with the level of support from the partners in progress and the various community dwellers in the district, the foundation is purged to thus it purged to do more in the new year. Whether further disclosed that its foundation takes a heart in the issue of healthcare. As such, more emphasis will be placed on the promotion of basic healthcare across the district. A prayer team for the success of the Barker administration have been established in Liberia. The Christian-based prayer team comprises of members of the 15 countries of Liberia with the aim to seek the protection of the UP administration by God. Making a disclosure Friday, Pastor Roland Chester said, Liberia or God revealed the members of the Christian denomination to seek his intervention upon President-elect Joseph Wakam. According to Pastor Roland Chester, their decision was triggered by the reception accorded members of the Christian community prior or compared to the CDC government and expressed confidence that the UP administration will succeed under President-elect Joseph Barker and Vice President-elect. A Bond County District 7 representative-elect for the family described the Tinker explosion, which has claimed the lives of about 50 people, as a national disaster and a devastating blow to Bond County, particularly Salada District. Representative-elect the family wants the national government to declare a day of mourning as the deaths of several individuals is unimaginable and immense in tragedy, not only to the people of Bond County, but the country at large. Formula is calling for a day to be set aside for the nation to collectively mourn the death of many compatriots, including women and children, while reflecting on the consequences leading to the disaster in order to begin a discussion of putting in place measures to avoid the recurrence of such calamity. He also expressed condolences to the bereaved families and wished that the injured victims speedy recovery as he lauded medical professionals and other families of uh, that's in other facilities that have provided their services and support to these difficult times. The youthful representative led of former and Sanoi district also calling on citizens and officials of one county to join forces and unite during this difficult period. The administration of the Martin Luther King Jr. High School has expressed frustration in the Supreme Court for ordering the demolition of the institution. It can be recalled on December 16, 2023, Martin Luther King Jr. High School alongside Sarah properties were demolished upon the order of the court over a disputed land in the former Tata base in Raleigh. Speaking to Arasia News at the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia during a peaceful protest organized by the administrators and students, the proprietor of the school, Pastor Solomon Nikai, described the court action as a setback for school and thus impeding the smooth learning for students. According to him, the institution was established in 1986 and is duly recognized by the Ministry of Education, which has contributed to the human resource capacity building of many in the country. The Liberian clergyman lamented that the institution was demolished without prior notice, thus calling on the United States government for swift intervention in keeping the children in school. The Liberian National Police has ordered the closure of a local beach in Lower Magibi County following the discovery of three dead bodies on the beach. According to RCR Lower Magibi County correspondent, police investigation showed that the people got drowned on Christmas Day. Purple Beach is located in Bapa Jude Town community, Lower Magibi County. Our correspondent said the bodies were discovered by a team of land surveyors and have since been buried. And away from Liberia, Russia has reopened its embassy in Burkina Faso after it was shut more than 30 years ago, officials have said. Burkina Faso was a close ally of former colonial power France, but has pivoted towards Russia since the military seized power in a coup in 2022. The junta has expelled French diplomats and has shut France's military base in the country. At the same time, it has been strengthening military and diplomatic ties with Russia. That news bulletin is back to Maka for the continuation of the news program.
Bringing us the news bulletin. If you're just joining us in one of the top stories we are following tonight, President George Weah expresses sympathy to the families of those who lost their lives in the Total explosion, describes the incident as disturbing, and calls on the public to reach out to the affected families. Senator Prince Johnson has criticized the nomination of Justice Minister Musa Ding as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia. The Nima County Senator said the nomination is untimely and is a covered-up plan to prevent the incoming administration from achieving some of its agenda, including auditing and prosecuting officials of the Weah-led government found in acts of corruption and other crimes. Senator Johnson said under the watch of Councillor Dean As Attorney General of the country, there were many mysterious deaths in the country, and there were no outcome of the investigations reportedly conducted. He noted that while President Weah has the constitutional right to appoint and nominate, his latest decision is untimely, and he should allow the new administration to make the nomination.
While it is true he has a constitutional power and right to make nominations, acting is untimely. The man he wants to replace as social justice, Joseph Nagbe, who is now well and is currently in Ghana, he's been there pretty close to a year. He did not see a fit to replace him ever since, but he started to do it now since the man has written that he can any longer make it, that he wants to retire. I think this is why he's made the nomination. But Mr. Weir did come out with an executive order putting a moratorium on nominations, appointments, and other government activities, that everything should come to a standstill in this transition period. While that is most welcome, because that's the same thing in 2017, Ellen did. She did it much earlier. That at this time, when the transition was put together, the CDC government continued to make more employment in all sectors of government, preparing for confusion in the future so that when the new government comes to power after inauguration, and they saw that the payroll is overpassed, many thousand people have been added, that there is a need to have a reduction. Then they will come and say, oh, the man is witch hunting. You see, he put our people down. That is the kind of situation this CCD government is preparing for. However, he has nominated Musadin to be a social justice. Musadin is my good friend. For me, I object it now, and I will object it to will come on the floor because too many deaths have occurred on his watch. The three missing boys, the parents, his father, Thomas Stoller with placard before St. Moses funeral home. He sent police to tear gas and arrested the boy father, handcuffed him and put him in the car with his mother. Do you believe that Gator Lama and her co-worker were having sex in the car? That's one. Two, what happened to Joshua?
Senator and Governing Council Chair of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, Prince Johnson, there speaking Friday at a news conference. In a related development, a conglomeration of civil society organizations led by Good Governance Initiative has called on the Liberian Senate to confirm Councillor Frank Musadin to the Supreme Court bench following his recent nomination by President George Weah. Since the nomination of Councillor Dean, some Liberians, including political pundits, have been questioning his integrity, while others believe the Liberian leader has made the best decision. Addressing a press conference Friday in Monrovia, the executive director of Good Governance Initiative, Jeremiah Bryant, said the confirmation of the nominee will improve and better the judicial system of the country.
It's critical threshold by countries existing.
termed as mere propagandists trying to undermine the credibility of Councillor Musa Din.
I want to simply identify voice of the civil society.
Initiative there speaking in Monrovia. Health authorities in Liberia have identified additional 28 victims of the Tuesday tanker explosion in Totota, Bam County. Liberia's chief medical officer, Dr. Francis Kete, making the disclosure to RCR News, said these individuals were discovered in the communities during the ongoing contact tracing. Dr. Kete noted that of the number, 15 were immediately taken to the Phoebe Referral Hospital as agreement was made to transport the additional 13 to the same health facility. He disclosed additional two deaths, taking the toll to more than 50.
Academic indicated that there were people that were
And the Deputy Minister for Health Services there speaking on Truth FM today in Monrovia. We have passed the hour mark. This is a reminder you are listening to 45 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated on Truth 96.1 FM. The top stories we are following tonight: President George Weah expresses sympathy to the families of those who lost their lives in the Totota explosion, describes the incident as disturbing and calls on the public to reach out to the affected families. Senator Prince Johnson objects to the nomination of Justice Minister Musa Din as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, says the decision is untimely and a ploy to undermine the incoming Boakai administration. Police Liberia National Police orders the closure of a local beach in Lower Margibi County following the discovery of three dead bodies on the beach. And out of Liberia, Russia reopens its embassy in Burkina Faso after it was shut more than 30 years ago, officials have said. In more news tonight, the Liberia National Police has ordered the closure of a local beach in Lower Margibi County following the discovery of three dead bodies on the beach. According to RCR Lower Margibi County correspondent, police investigation showed that the people got drowned on Christmas Day. Propo Beach is located in Babajo Town Community, Lower Margibi County. Edwin Ketor has been telling us more about this incident.
The discovery of three dead bodies on a beach in question. They were
At the Painesville City Corporation are protesting for their 5 month benefit. The protesters on Friday morning set up roadblocks to the main entrance of the city corporation, demanding that the PCC settles their 5 month benefits. Speaking to reporters, one of the protesters, Tesla Lawman, said it has been 5 months since the administration refused to pay the contractors. Where they leave their homes early in the morning to work, but they cannot receive salaries for 5 months. They threatened a continuous protest until the management of the Painesville City Corporation can settle their arrears. On Friday at the Painesville City Corporation. The president of the Lacosa's College of Education, Dr. Benjamin Way, has identified four pillars as the institution's strategic direction going forward in 2024. Dr. Way named accessibility, quality, relevance, and 21st century infrastructure as the four major pillars of Lacosa's College of Education. Speaking Friday at the final reflections, review, and celebration of Lacosa's College of Education 2023, Dr. Way said the retreat was intended to present the college's strategic direction, making sure that every member of the institution is on board.
As we move forward, we must embrace the our strategic goals. Our strategic direction is based on four pillars: accessibility, quality, relevance, and 21st century innovation and infrastructure strategies. These pillars will guide us in our mission to provide accessible, high quality, and relevant education that protects teachers from the challenges of the modern world. Today's retreat is an opportunity to present our strategic direction and ensure that every member of our institution is on board. We will validate the calendar of leaders for 2024 that stand the
Three-year end retreat. The Chief Executive Officer of the Anthony Woolley Foundation has announced the groundbreaking for several projects across District 2, Montserrat County. He named some of the projects as Youth Center, where the young people will be able to meet and discuss issues, bridge connecting communities that are mostly affected during the rainy season, as well as vocational schools.
Well, 2024 will be breaking ground for a series of projects. So we'll be breaking ground for the center. We have a youth center project that we hope to embark on in 2024. So we'll be breaking ground for that project around the Sound community. We'll also be breaking ground for the youth center project in Mount Barkley community. And we'll be breaking ground for a beach as well in the Washington community. They are all set that we'll be breaking ground January 1 that we can embark on the beach project in that community and also the Kanasan community will also be the ground for this project as well. A full time group that people are being employed in the
The Anthony Wheeler Foundation outlining upcoming projects in District 2, Montserrat County. The administration of the Martin Luther King Junior High School in Painesville, Rhode Island, has expressed frustration in the Supreme Court decision ordering the demolition of the institution. It can be recalled on 16 December, Martin Luther King Junior High School, alongside several properties, were demolished upon the order of the Supreme Court over a disputed land in the former torture base in Red Light. Speaking to reporters Friday at the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia during a peaceful protest organized by administrators and students, the proprietor of the school, Pastor Solomon Dikia, described the court action as a setback for the school and impeding the smooth learning for students.
We are here to take our message to the embassy of the American embassy. So directly address the American ambassador. We write the honor of this for timely intervention towards the Liberian that dropped the whole out of school due to good action demolishing our school facility on December 16, 2023, just a day to our second period test. We are an institution that have been established since 1986 and have contributed greatly in capacity building since our establishment. We are recognized institution on the Ministry of Education have offered scholarships and financial aid to students of Liberia whose parents that could not afford tuition over the years. Moreover, the proprietor of this institution purchased it, only found purchased this property in 1974 before establishing the institution and have been out on this property from the time of the establishment and to the time of demolition of the school that took place on Saturday.
Solomon Dikia is the proprietor of the Martin Luther King Junior High School in Painesville. Finally, administration has been established in Liberia. The Christian-based prayer team comprises of members from the 15 counties of Liberia with the aim to seek the protection of God over the UP administration. Pastor Roland Chester made the disclosure on Friday.
We are on liberating sources of social human power government and we are setting up the team leadership in the Berea County and we want
sympathy to the families of those who lost their lives in the Total explosion, describes the incident as disturbing and calls on the public to reach out to the affected families. Senator Prince Johnson objects to the nomination of Justice Minister Musa Ding as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, says the decision is untimely and a ploy to undermine the incoming Boakai administration. Liberia National Police orders the closure of a local beach in Lower Margibi County following the discovery of 3 dead bodies on the beach. And out of Liberia, Russia reopens its embassy in Burkina Faso after it was shut more than 30 years ago, officials have said. Many thanks to all of you for your listening role. Thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped to make this edition of News Desk a success. Johnson Bantoma read for us the news bulletin. Mayan Tobin set our control and coordinated the sounds. My name is Marka Davis. I presented. Good night.